Hello everyone, I'm ImKibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory. Where last time we were busy dealing with all of the acids, getting them online, piping them to where they all need to go, and getting ready for the next stage of our nuclear power plant. It is a massive project we've been working on for a long time, and this is the diorama of it. And so far, everything in green over here is a small piece that we've completed. So we have the iron, the copper done, we have some plastic made stay doors, iron pipes, iron plates, all the resources gathered, and still there is so much more to do. Today's big goal is gonna be Quickwire. We need a lot of it. And if we're making Quickwire, that also means we need, Caterium. I groan a bit because we're gonna be using the pure Caterium ingot recipe. Takes Caterium ore, combines it with water, and you get a bunch of Caterium out of the recipe. And if we combine that with the copper we smelted last time, we're gonna be able to make a bunch of Quickwire using the fused Quickwire recipe. And you know, if we have the Caterium and the Quickwire, I think we may as well make some AI limiters. Because we'll be using the plastic AI limiter alternate that uses Quickwire and plastic, and last time, we got quite a bit of that automated. And we have plastic for days. So let's get started. How much Caterium do we have to deal with? The answer is a lot, a ridiculous amount in fact. We have trains bring in a variety of materials, most of which is Caterium. This freight car, 600 Caterium per minute, another 600, another 600, another 600, another 600, and then diamonds later. Okay, so that's 3,600, cool. This train, it's looking like coal, quartz, and not Caterium? Not Caterium ore, actually. I think this is bringing in Caterium, yes. Caterium ingots, because I was nice to my future self, and I actually processed some of it. So cool. But hold up. Past Kibs also belted over some Caterium, and that is just over on those there. Which is another 600 per minute. That means we have 4,200 Caterium to process. And if we're using refineries in that pure ingot recipe, how many of them do we have to build? My guess, 7. Maybe more than 7. Because each of them can handle 24 ore per minute, right? So 4,200 divided by 24 is a lot of refineries. Okay, we overclock all of them. Still, a lot of refineries? Okay, what do we do about that? Well, we could make some cool design, or we could just spam blueprints in this empty area. I was kind of leaving the space for reactors. You know, we have this pure processor blueprint. Yeah, the idea is we could just spam all these up. So it's not as boring, we could inset them into the platform a little bit. It's something I did last time when we were setting up the sulfuric acid. But to make it so these refineries weren't blocking the view of everything else, I set them in a couple tiles into the platform. And yeah, it looks pretty good. So if we did that again, with all of these, it might look even better. And if we're scaling this system out the wazoo, we have a bunch of 600 belts, and a 600 belt divided by fully overclocked refineries is 10 refineries. So one 600 belt goes into 10 refineries, boom, 369, and 10. That's actually not too bad. And yeah, building this whole thing, actually totally fine. The problem is, we need to make this another 7 times. That is not good. This is too many refineries. Even in setting them into the platform, you can just tell. It's like, how many smokestacks do we have to build, right? It's just so convenient. We put in 600 Caterium ingots here, 600 there. It overflows through the 10 on each side. The water would be fine. All of the outputs could fit on one belt. And it would be a 600 belt of Caterium ingots. Like, it's so practically efficient, but aesthetically, are we really gonna build all of these when we could mess around and have it look like this? Rule of cool, guys, rule of cool. Admittedly, I tried my best trying to make something look good here, and I was thinking maybe you could actually put nuclear reactors on top of this, or something, anything. But at that point, it's getting a little tall. Like, the nuclear power plants are huge, and I'd want them kind of low to the platform, and yeah, they're clipping together in an unfriendly way. Like, we'd have to build so high up, and it's just getting weird at this point. And what really sealed the deal for me aesthetically was actually not just how high up the reactors were, but it'd be the view from my main control building here. So we're gonna have a portal later on in the playthrough, right there, so we'll always be coming to the nuclear power plant and seeing this view. It's like, what are we doing over there, right? It just looks strange. I don't know. I don't like it. We're not doing it. Moving on. Let's spam some nuclear power plants. No, they're not gonna be running for a long time, but I just wanna know just in my head that, hey, this is nuclear power plant space, okay? Jeez, these are expensive though. I don't think we can afford building all of these, and yeah, no. Our dimensional depot can't keep up, but that's fine. Just gotta go on a quick trip back to our main base and head over to our storage room, which I actually made primarily for this project. I knew we would run out of cable for this, and here we are now with all the cable in the world. Also, why are there no power shards in here? Whatever. We have the cable, so let's scoot back and spam. We need hundreds of nuclear power plants, so may as well get started with them. And it's only the beginning. Ooh, does look cool though. Definitely will look better once we actually have some nuclear waste and fuel rods flowing around them too. Or, you know, maybe they could be a little higher up. I don't know. No matter though, there's definitely gonna be reactors there. Moving on. It's time to figure out what we're gonna do with our actual project today. We're gonna go back to what we're doing, and we're gonna build a new system for this. These systems are just small blueprints that I use for a per project basis. So we want to make Quickwire, right? We already have the copper ingots, so that means we need refineries and we need assemblers. And in a perfect world, we'll match some of the ratios here so we can fit both the machines in one blueprint and then spam them out of control. So looking at the assembler, this needs 18.75 Keyterium per minute. Okay. And this can make 30 ingots per minute. Oh, 30. 30 is a nice number. Hold up. It's perfect. So if we just have this at 200% clock speed, that takes 15 ingots, makes 180 wire, and that just means we need to have 2 of these in the blueprint. 1 refinery, 2 assemblers, no problem. And for the water, don't need to worry about that. It's already been dealt with, trust me. And yeah, the copper, it's all done too. And blueprint-wise, I feel there's only really one way to go about this. The refinery is so tall that we just need to stack the assemblers next to it. So we'll build that in there, get an assembler, probably skewed it so it's right in the middle of the refinery. Just thinking about hiding belts and all that jazz right now. That's fine. I don't know, we can redesign as time goes on. And then we'll stack another one of these on top of this one. The weird, nice thing about assemblers actually is that they can stack very nicely. Like you're seeing earlier that the refineries don't like to play ball, but the assemblers, they're like, sure. I'll just clip into the one beneath. Why not? No problem. So thank you, assemblers, for being cooperative. Oh, maybe I should build this the other way because this has to go over to there. I've left a gap here. Could we do a little bit of this, a little bit of that? The answer is yes, but then we have to go to 2 machines. We have to have a splitterunski somewhere in here. Maybe this, maybe that. Uppies? It works. No, I think this just needs to be flipped around. With these system blueprints, I kind of want to make the blueprint as if it were one machine. So we'd have all of the inputs and outputs kind of on one side here, and then it's easy to kind of work around. So I'm trying to leave space on one side to have all of the external belt work, so it's scalable. Admittedly though, this isn't actually that easy. I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm trying to get it compact, but it just ends up using so much space, and then at the end of the day, we're blocking space too, because we still have to get the copper into here, right? And so we need another one of these. So I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing it's still very vertical, so maybe we could do something super vertical in the same tile, somehow? Here's what I'm thinking. We'll get some splitters in here, right? That will go down. It could go up and then to there, right? But then this now takes up an entire extra space. I'd rather this is all kind of compact more. But at least with this system, we could have the belt for the copper scoot out over here, and then we can have an overflow going over this way. Then the outputs are right there, no problem. So this is the only problem we have left. This is tricky. However, that's what makes it so much fun. It's a little puzzle to solve every single time. And the trick this time was I raised both of the assemblers up. So then I had all the space down here to deal with the belts. They get out of the way, the inputs are able to go in, no problem, outputs able to scoot on back, and everything is all dealt with on one side. So we'd have the Caterium go into here. It can overflow to a copy of this system right beside it. Copper, able to rock and roll, and all the Quickwire ends up here to wherever it needs to go as well. Yeah, it was quite tricky, but it's okay, probably. And to help out with the aesthetic, I made the Caterium refinery gold. Looks so nice and shiny. So, en masse, I think it will look pretty good. Usually all the systems I've been building look good once they're built like multiple times around each other. Anyway, that means we have to get building all of the separate systems. And I'm thinking, since we have all of the Caterium ore right down there, we have all the plastic right here, then we just build right up here. Why not, right? Well, one of the reasons why not actually is because we need a lot of these systems. The numbers don't work out very, very nicely. As in, we just need a lot. So math-wise, there's only the one refinery in there, right? So one system can only process like 60 Caterium ore, which means we won't be processing all of the Caterium ore, unfortunately. But we will be completing our Quickwire project. And if each of these blueprints makes 360 Quickwire, we could set 2 of these blueprints up in a little row, combine them together, and we have a 720 belt of Quickwire to send to wherever it needs to go, which will be AI limiters in like a few moments. Actually, let me check my notes here. How much Quickwire do we need? Okay, dude. That much Quickwire. About 12,000. That divided by 720. Okay, about 16, 17 systems. Oh, wait, no. Each blueprint system actually makes 360. So, okay, that makes more sense. 33 blueprints. Okay. Plus all the belt work's gonna get crazy, especially with the trains. Yeah, we're gonna need a lot of space. We'll build over top of the trains, then we'll just bring all of the items up. Platform-wise, I don't really want to build over top of this other train station in this area. We have a big thing we're trying to work around, which is the water. All those water pipes need to go somewhere, and I'm planning to have them go through this trench area. And then there's gonna be even more water pipes, those ones, that are gonna come up and around this cliff and end up over there. And I want those water pipes to scoot over through this area. So this factory is gonna be a little boxed in. But who knows, maybe this is all the space we need here, right? Let's start building a little bit and find out. We're gonna be building these systems side by side, just so the belt work is a little manageable. So that's 2, this is 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. Yikes. So we're gonna be able to fit about half of the project on this one platform here. That's not good at all. Where do we expand then? Again, we're gonna have all these pipes heading over this way. We're gonna have all the pipes heading over that way. Well, then wait a second, hold up. That means the space above these train stations is actually free. And you know what they say about free real estate. And just so we have a little bit extra pizzazz around here, we'll try and build this platform a little bit lower than the other. And then we'll copy the same thing we're doing upstairs to this new level. And all right. I think this was a good decision. We have these systems in place, those systems in place, and then we're probably gonna have to add in another floor over there just to get the rest of the blueprints in. But the best thing here is there's space still to deal with all the belt work. There's gonna be 12,000 Quickwire to deal with when this is all up and running. And I'm not even talking about the inputs like the copper or the Caterium or the water. This is just the output. So definitely need a lot of space for belt work. And it's time to get the party started. So inputting materials into these kinds of systems can be quite daunting, but kind of like our project from last time, just gotta start with a single step and it's not too bad. So each blueprint needs 60 Caterium ore, and we have them in sets of 2, so that's 120. We have 600 belts of Caterium, and all of the systems in total need 2,040. That'll be about 3 belts and change of Caterium ore, And then each 600 belt divided by 120 is 5 machines. Not too bad. So we have space here. Let's just pretend that the Caterium is, boom, right there. Goes into this system. That's 2. Overflows to the next. That's 4. And because we need 5, we'll just take the ore from here, bring it over and around, and that will go into here. Easy. 600 Caterium dealt with. Next. I don't know where we'll start all the Caterium going from, but the next belt of Caterium will somehow end up right here. Go into this machine, go into the next machine. That's 2. This is 1 machine because the other is already dealt with. So that will be 3. And then another 2. And that is 5. And it's another 600 Caterium ore dealt with. Now we just have to do that. Oh yeah, it's pretty much like one more time. Wait, that doesn't seem right. What's going on here? Something's wrong. Something is terribly wrong. The 600 belts still go into the 5 refineries for sure, but I think we just need more belts than this. 34 blueprints times 60, 2040. What's going on here? Okay. I actually just need to write things out and organize my thoughts and notes. Everything's fine. The 600 belt does not go into 5 machines, it goes into 10 machines. Because each of these refineries takes 60 times 5, 300. So yeah, the numbers are a lot easier. Just a lot going on. It's very confusing. And just I'm trying to take it one step at a time so I don't go crazy. One little problem though I did notice is I didn't actually have enough machines. Not just this row, not just this stack, but we needed like 4-ish more. So there's this little weird cubby hole underneath the fuel power plant, or sorry, the plastic plant. That was available, so I just threw in a couple of refineries down here. But overall, it was still really easy to belt together with the patterns we're working with, and now it is, at least for the Caterium. Next order of business, the copper. So much copper. How many copper ingots do we need? 75? Oh my gosh, wait a second. 75 per 1 assembler. There's 2 assemblers per blueprint. Each blueprint needs 150, brother. 34 times 150? Holy numbers, Batman. I'd be more worried if I wasn't prepared for this. Oh my gosh, past Kibs already with the copper for days. Look at all these refineries. We hid them underneath the plastic plant and boxed them in, but each of these belts has 750 ingots per minute. We're just using that pure copper ingot recipe, or water, ingots for days. And since each belt has 750, all of these systems need 150. Check this out. 5100 divided by 750, 6.8. But even better, 750 divided by 150, 5. So we just have to do the exact same thing, pretty much, as we did with the Caterium and do with the copper ingots. And since all the copper ingots are right here, it's more so like an organizational problem than anything. So let's get her done. Bring this all down here, and because future Kibs will probably get confused about the whole goings on, I'm actually gonna bring all of the copper way down this way, and essentially enter it into this whole system at the same place we're entering all of the Caterium out. That way it's like, hey, I can follow the belts back to where their sources are a lot more easily. Oh my goodness, this was a very good idea. This is a lot of copper. Oh my gosh, and it's going all over the place. It looks confusing, but it really isn't. Again, it's just splitting up each belt into 5 different systems. It's just that we have so many systems, and space is a bit of a whole thing. Is this, wait, I'm sorry, is this belt? I will fix this, don't worry. Okay, I'll fix that. Copper is dealt with, it's all belted in. Looking good, and the last input we need is water. And I don't think we need a lot, right? Each of the refineries needs 60. It's the same deal as Caterium then. So we need about 2,040 water, and oh wow, we have water literally everywhere. So no biggie at all. Barely an inconvenience. Water is in, water is done, and the system is pretty much ready to go, actually. Yeah, it's all good. Oh, except for the outputs. We need to get all of the Quickwire out of there now. This is the part I didn't really want to deal with, okay? Because now things are gonna be a little very weird. There's a lot of Quickwire in here. What was it? Let's just say it was like 12,000 Quickwire per minute. It's like 16 belts of Quickwire we have to like send somewhere. Okay. Well, there is space here, luckily. We'll just have all of the Quickwire belts, I guess, stacked up a little bit. I suppose we have to figure out where we want the next set of systems to be built. One of our goals today was to make AI limiters, right? With the plastic. Yeah, and the plastic's here. Quickwire's there. So we want the AI limiter setup to be pretty close by. And again, we have those pipes that are going through here. We have the pipes that are over there. Where do we build the AI limiters? Do we stack them on top of these systems we've already built? I get too tall. I don't want anything to be taller than the control center there. Well, there is a little bit of space down here. I kind of just filled it in because, hey, we had the pipes here. I was like, bringing it over this way, may as well. I don't think we could fit them all here, though. I got a bad idea, okay? Just hear me out, though. I got a bad idea. It's a cool idea, you know, but not the best. Okay, the idea is maybe we could fit all of the AI limiter assemblers down here. I don't really know how many we need to build. I know it's a lot. Maybe this could work? Let's see, let's double check the recipes. How many AI limiters do we make with this plastic alternate? That's gonna be like 20 or something? Yeah, 20. Okay, well, how many AI limiters do we need for the whole project? Just a cool 360 divided by 20. 18 assemblers, okay. That we can do. 18 down here? Heck, we might not even need this second area. Okay, and for this, I've decided we're just gonna use like a pretty plain assembler setup where it's just 8 of them in a row. It's very, very simple. It's kind of our traditional build method that's very efficient. It's just the items go into here and that's it. There's no like combining different processes or anything like that. Each of these is 4 assemblers that take 120 Quickwire each, 120 times 4, 480. GG, almost easy. Because the belts upstairs, when we combine all of these systems together, will be 720 belts. It's gonna be 4 assemblers, each assembler making 180 each, 180 times 4, 720. So that means downstairs, we'd have to add on, I think it's another 2 assemblers then to this system. But Kibs, you might be wondering, why? Why don't you just overclock these? All right, I need to be sitting down for this one because there's been a problem that's been brewing with this whole project that I've tried to ignore, but we have run into the end times. We are out of power shards. I know, well, there's 139 there, Kibs. Brr, brr, brr. What do you mean you're out? I mean, that's all we have left pretty much in the world. Yeah, that's it. We have used them all. All of the blueprints I make pretty much use fully overclocked machines. That's 3 power shards there, 2 in each of those. All of these water extractors, all of them have 3 power shards in each of them. So I wouldn't have to build 2.5 times this. Like, that would be outrageous. So they're all overclocked out the wazoo. And yeah, we've used up all of the power shards in the world. I thought we would get through this project and then we could automate the power shards and then it would be fine, but we're not fine. We're not fine. So at least for this project, it's not a lot of AI limiter machines. We can get by just, you know, not overclocking. If we're not overclocking, it's gonna be 18 times 2.5, about 45 assemblers. We could fit some sets here. We can fit some sets next door. It's not gonna be a problem right this second, but how we're gonna go about the rest of the project, that's a great question. I really don't know. And we are kind of at the precipice where we have to figure it out. Step 1 though, is we're just gonna hook all these together. It's pretty simple. We have the plastic, it's right on these belts here. So we are going to set up some splitters here, probably some overflow splitters, and bring the plastic we need down along a wall and then down to here. The Quickwire, Well, it's just gonna be a tidal wave of gold that will bring over over this way. Same deal. Probably bring over to like here, bring it down, organize. No biggie. And while I'm hooking all this together, I'm gonna start thinking about what we do about our power shard conundrum. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Just was getting started here and I got a couple good ideas. But first, I know some of you guys are gonna be like, Kibs, why don't you just not overclock things? I don't know if you're watching earlier in this video, but we would then have to make like 170 refineries just for Caterium. Yeah, we don't have the space for that. We can't. The numbers are just too insane with this world. We have to overclock. Oh, not only for space actually, also for lag. We are only getting the power plant work done right now. We haven't even really started on the final space elevator parts. Like this world is gonna be, oh boy. Idea I had though was Lizard Doggo Farm. Hello, buddy. Look at the gift he brought me the other day on my Twitch live stream. It was a fun little nuke obelisk. What a good boy. Anything else cool? Nuts. You will put those in the freezer. Thank you. I need you to bring me 500 power shards. Can you do that, my friend? I'll take that as a yes. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I thought that was a good idea in my head, but actually, I don't know like the odds of them bringing power shards versus other things. So that might not be the best idea. Another idea I had though was, hey, there's probably a lot of machines that don't need all the power shards right now. So we could yoink the power shards and just mark them as need to be upgraded. Kind of like the hundreds of belts that we need to be upgraded, right? Because we have a lot of Mark III miners fully overclocked, and we don't have the Mark VI belts to extract the items, so maybe we just yoink the power shards. Or like these water extractors. I don't even know if I'm gonna be using them. Oh, and they aren't overclocked either. And the ones that are overclocked are being used. Frick. Okay, well, scrap that plan. Our turbo fuel power plant is way too mission critical to mess around with, so we'll leave it be. And then kind of out of almost desperation, I loaded up my world save into Satisfactory calculator, and yeah, the power slugs are practically extinct. I have about 90% of them gathered, and if I went through the entire world systematically collecting every single last one, and then doubling like the output, so we'll say we'd get like 10 power shards per purple power slug, all in, with all that work, we'd end up with another 400 power shards, which is a lot of power shards, and in fact could pretty much get us through this whole project. But it would be like an 8-hour side project, and I don't really want to do that. But you know, we might just have to do that if the other plan doesn't work. And the other plan is not good. I really don't want to have to do this. We're gonna take the power shards out of water extractors temporarily, or at least the ones we're not using. This is a lot of power shards just kind of sitting around, and I don't want to do this because future Kibs is gonna forget what's happening. Plus, it's just gonna take time, like copying and pasting, and it's a whole thing. And so I will remember, I just paint the water extractors red, just to indicate, hey, we need to get the power shards in these. And it's just gonna be a whole extra task for future Kibs. So this is probably what we'll end up doing. Unless, I don't know, you guys are down for a whole episode of adventuring or something along those lines, or waiting a little bit between uploads. I don't know, not a lot of good options. And no, we're not just gonna go and automate power shards in some temporary setup, because that would just mean we'd need a lot more power A. B, we'd have to finish up the next phase of the space elevator, which is a whole thing all on its own, and yeah, not a lot of good options. But on a good note, all of our AI limiter assemblers are hooked up. They all fit down here rather nicely. And this whole little area is kind of cool. We have a bunch of belt work that's going over top of the train stations, so we can have some walkways and seeing some movement, and that's pretty nice. And all the Quickwire wasn't too bad to set up. Thankfully, past Kibs left me with all of this space. So with all the space, we're able to move and groove all of the items rather conveniently. And all of the Quickwire isn't just used for AI limiters, it's gonna be used for a variety of other things. And so I've gathered up what remains, and it's going down this way, and we're gonna have like a big belt highway going down there. So this will all be Quickwire as well. All right. So yeah, let me know what power shard solution we should go with in the comments below. And I guess you get this party started and we'll see if the whole system works. And now, unfortunately, this won't be a perfect test because we don't have the Mark 6 belts. Some things aren't overclocked, and I really just want to see like, hey, are all the belts actually connected? So don't worry, this whole awesome sync setup, temporary.tm, we'll get rid of it later. Right now, just want to see I didn't miss anything. There are a lot of belts in here. It's very confusing, and I know there's gonna be a mistake. So I just want to at least catch them before we actually start measuring. Anyway though, the Deuterium, it was just from these trains downstairs, right? So brought the Deuterium up, it's all right here. Already had everything else dealt with. So to get the whole thing started, just bring the Deuterium from A to B, and we wait and see what breaks. Okay, off we go, splitting up between all of these in an, oh my, I just had a nightmare thought. Horrible nightmare world, the blueprints aren't made properly, and I have to fix all of them? But that would never happen, right? Future note for Kibs though, please test the blueprints out before setting up the crazy systems like this, because that is a dangerous proposition. Holy macaroni though. The tidal wave of gold begins. Look at all of that Quickwire moving so quickly. Wow, that's so cool. Big fan of the aesthetics there. Oh, speaking of the aesthetics, once we get this whole system working properly, we absolutely will be making like a sunroof or a sky roof, whatever you want to call it, so we can look down and see all this stuff moving and grooving. Speaking of moving and grooving, how is it looking down here? Plastic is all connected. Again, it was right next door. Just had some belts overflowing over that way, bringing it over this way. We didn't really actually need that much plastic for this whole thing. It's not too bad. It's, I think, around 1,000 plastic per minute. Has some stuff running. Good, good, good. Belts are all connected. Green lights out the wazoo. Why is there no movement here? Ring, ring, hello. Is it just slow? Is it just a Quickwire problem? I think it's just a Quickwire thing. And why isn't this moving? Well, that's just funky, isn't it? Bunch of AI limiters right there. I only want them down this way onto one belt. We're making like 360 AI limiters per minute, right? So it's not like a huge number. They can all fit on a 780 belt, but why is this belt just not working? Very strange. Are we good? Looks like it. I don't know what happened there. Very peculiar. I also see, it's like, why is there a Quickwire not moving anywhere? Tomfoolery is afoot. Easy fix though. Don't mind easy, simple fixes like that. And you might be wondering, wait, Kibs, where are those AI limiters coming from? Well, we needed like 350.83 or whatever AI limiters. Like with all these projects, there's some decimal points and we need like 0.1 per minute and all that kind of jazz. So there are some AI limiters being built up here, just beside some of our Quickwire setups. And it's just for like those weird extra numbers. Long story short, the majority of stuff is being done downstairs. That's just for the residue, and it's looking pretty good. Seeing the smokestacks doing their thing. There's a weird merging going on here, where it looks like all the items are slowing down, because they are. It looks like the pace is keeping up, at least when they get to this part of the factory. So that's good. Hey, I guess it's not a problem. I'll keep an eye on it. And then everything is going to awesome syncs. So we should be able to see the final results down here about what's actually happening. AI limiters, toodaloo friendos. Some belt here is saying no deal. Why? Where does that go? Wait, where to here? Okay. To there? Okay. to up here? Okay. Sir? Was that like one piece of Quickwire? Did you see that? Ah, I see. Okay. Like I mentioned, this setup over here is to deal with a bunch of decimals. So eventually, once it is totally stuffed with Quickwire, all the excess Quickwire will head down that way. Oh, in fact, past Kibs wrote down the notes. Needed 8.22 assemblers, all the math, about 1,000 Quickwire per minute equals 230.16 please per minute? Please what? What's please? What is Kibs talking about? What would be please? Plastic, plastic. Oh, it's plastic. Oh, I get you. I see what you did there, past Kibs. That makes sense. Maybe we do like instead of please. Could we do that? Perfect, that's way better. Okay, so that's how much plastic. Seems like the Quickwire is overflowing a bit better. That's good. And I guess for the future of this project, it'd be even better to actually have the Quickwire stored in a bin, just so there's no weird buffering issues. Like if this belt is being relied on in a future system, we don't want some hiccup with production back there to interrupt the next system that this goes into. But okay, it looks like for the most part, everything is looking good, and I think we're ready to decorate. But okay, I've been working at this for a very, very long time, and I'm going a little crazy, so we're whipping through this. Got a cool little front grille design. Then I put a gold box on it, and then I made another gold box. Because we're working with Caterium, we actually get to mess around with gold for once. Isn't that fun? So we got these golden beams everywhere. We have these golden, what are they called? Big pillar supports. Then I ran around inside and did some light interior work, just so we could see some numbers and have some walking paths and all that usual fare. But I didn't do too much because we have a lot of variables to figure out, like where all the extra water pipes are going. Well, actually, that's the only problem. It's just those water pipes we have to figure out where to bring, because then we can bring the belts over top the water pipes and just go from there. Once we get the water pipes figured out, then we can get the belts figured out, then we have to figure out the power shards, and yeah, there's a lot going on. But at least for the time being, diorama world time, we can check things off the to-do list. Oh, a huge thing was I wish we could check this off, but we're not done with the Caterium refineries just yet. But soon, we are though done with this, the Quickwire and the AI limiters. Huzzah! And soon we'll be messing around with the manufacturers, and more importantly, dissolved silica. Well, once we get all the other problems figured out. However, though, that is gonna be all for now. So if you enjoyed, remember to subscribe for more. And until then, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.